the winners finals. Cody Travis versus Sandstorm. Brawlhalla already coming in game one. Sandstorm coming in with the Mordex already game one. Dude, he talked about Fate for like a month, and he's just gonna play Mordex and murk everybody.
Yeah, I mean, the Fate looks so good, and of course he's got that orb that we saw from his double space, but at the end of the day, like, the Mordex is what he's known for. The Mordex is what you'll love, and so, of course, no surprise to see him sticking with the Mordex, at least for game number one. Maybe he'll switch it up. Of course, it is still best of fives.
Now starting this one off, Cody does have a nice little lead here. He's going to have complete control of the weapons. Ooh, ended up picking that one up. He picked that D-Light up high, and I'm not just talking about like off the ground, but like the top side of the D-Light hitbox ended up picking up there. So Cody's really extending this lead here. If he picks up a nice another D-Light, it's going to lead to the recovery, maybe a D-Light Sayer depending on where he actually picks up the D-Light on the map. We'll see how Sandstorm gets back. These blasters have been a menace coming out from Cody Travis. The zone potential has been incredible. He was boxing a lot of other players, using the max range on those to space incredibly well. Now Sandstorm stuck on the side. Cody tosses his weapon away, picks up the axe, gets the KO almost immediately.
Yeah, and getting that KO with the axe downlight, he had to add up a lot of damage, but look at his health bar. He did it relatively safely. His blasters getting that damage quick, not having to worry about too much there. And Sandstorm is struggling to find that consistency, struggling to find those openers onto Cody Travis's blasters.
Cody's straight up vibing right now. He already has Sandstorm in the orange on his second stock. Cody's still in the orange on his first. Maybe one more hit might put him red, but I don't even know if that'll do it right now. He has Sandstorm in the red, certainly. Goes for the GC down signature. Sandstorm's not in a spot to punish. There was that side light. That put him into the red. There's an axe on the field. He's going to grab that one. Likely go for that Sayer. You see it coming out right there. Goes high. Out comes Sandstorm, moving up there right alongside Cody, hits the recovery, gets the KO. It's not going to take too much to take away this stock, at least in terms of moves, but it might be difficult. Sandstorm going in the weapon starting game, you see him kind of bounce passing those gauntlets down to himself, tosses them away because he has the weapon spawn to his right side. Cody snipes this one out of the air.
Yeah, unfortunate for Sandstorm. Kind of just did a raw weapon toss and wasn't even paying attention to where the next one was going to spawn, but he does grab the gauntlets and again, throws away the weapon, and Cody Travis just going to get that gravity cancel down sig to punish. Sandstorm is looking uncomfortable in the neutral against Cody Travis. He's doing all these weapon tosses, something to try to open up his opponent, but maybe starting to find some momentum with the scythe.
It's always hard as a commentator to build a narrative this early on in the set, and especially when you look at like these two players. Grabs him. We have basically an even game. That's why you don't already build the narrative of is Cody gonna dunk on Sandstorm. This early on in game one, you see the immediate turnaround from Sandstorm. He was looking a little shook, already comes out, picks up 2, 3, might see a fourth hit there. There's a fourth hit, a fifth hit, a sixth hit, a seventh hit, an eighth hit. Even goes for the ninth, still hasn't taken damage. Will he hit the ninth? He's looking for it. He hasn't thrown out a move out in a while. He's only on the Shmooma game right now. 9th, 10th. I'm going to keep counting up. I kind of hope he gets hit so I can stop. Okay, he got 11 unanswered hits.
Cody the homie. But man, Sandstorm added up so much damage. He got so many hits, but look at the situation at hand. Cody Travis is gonna take game number one off the back of Sayer to Sayer to Sayer. Just playing that spacing game to get game number one.
Now we're looking at the damage. Cody had to do a lot of damage that game to get the victory in the end. And he's KOing with D-Sig, but he's KOing with D-Sig on a very damaged Mordex coming out from Sandstorm. He had to do 592 damage that game. If we're looking at damage per engagement, Cody coming out big with 49, but Sandstorm's right behind him at 42, so still a very high number.
Yeah, it was looking kind of close, but still, Sandstorm just wasn't adding up that much damage despite all the times he was getting those hits with the scythe. Looks like he's going to be sticking with the scythe a little bit more here in game number two. Ooh, recovery actually gets beaten out. He's going to go for the forward nair, active input on that one. You can choose where you throw your opponent. So interesting that he opted to throw him straight at the wall instead of like away into a more dangerous open area.
So Cody's going to start this one out with the axe. Most of the damage last game was done off the blasters. He did 371 with the blasters compared to the 210 on the axe. Both of those numbers are pretty high. Cody's going to end up falling there. Is Duke, would you mind looking at the top right of your screen and telling me whether or not that stock is
that a
clean?
snowman? It's untouched. He got the Windex on that one. Some Lysol wipes keeping that one 99.9% germ free. Sandstorm looking good, but Cody Travis, he's got the blasters. This is his main damage building tool.
see if he's able to get that monstrous comeback that we saw Sandstorm grab when he picked up the D-Sig on the side last game to sort of even it up.
Looks like he's going back to the gauntlets this time, wants to get close to Cody Travis, maybe stack up a little bit. And Cody Travis, he's been playing this range game, but Sandstorm gets on top of him. Nice downlight ground pound, optimum damage, but Cody with a down sig might be able to even up the stock count. No, he's gonna let him get the wall touch.
We're seeing a basic, complete mirror of last game. We basically have Cody in the red on his second stock, a full stock behind Sandstorm. It was the other way last game. I don't know if Cody really has that turnaround potential. That D-Sig on the site is so strong. Now, Cody did take it in the end, but it was so close. KOing with side airs, I think we're going to see a high damage number again coming out from Cody Travis. And when you're really far ahead, that's not as bad. When you're very far behind, that's not so good.
What a dodge read from Sandstorm. That's very good for him as he gets the double side light into the recovery. And to talk about the damage numbers a little bit more, that's something that Cody Travis is a little bit indicative of, right? Like that's kind of one of his mainstays. He builds up damage very hard, and then he'll go for like an axe downlight to get that KO. And usually it works out, like you said, he's pretty safe about it, but this time he's playing a full stock behind.
Trying to zone out with those blasters. The D-Light over the side. The D-Light missed. Sandstorm comes up. Out comes the neutral light from Cody Travis. That's regular whiff cover from a blasters player. Throw out that D-Light, then either throw out the side light or the neutral light if you want more active frames coming out from that move rather than just a single poke of the side light.
That ground pound on the soft platform was actually really, really interesting. It's one of those things that like made me raise an eyebrow, but also I was like, wait, I think that resets his jumps pretty safely. Won't amount to much though, as Sandstorm is gonna take game number 2, the unarmed recovery, cleaning that one up, and we are at 1 apiece now.
That was kind of a bold axe recovery that came out from Cody Travis. We saw him do that in one of the previous sets when Taza and I were sitting down on the desk. It was really rare, and that's, I think, what ended up winning him the set, was I think his opponent just didn't expect that recovery to come out at that moment. This time, Sandstorm was totally ready for at least a move to come out. Immediate punish came from it. 551 damage, not so bad coming out from Sandstorm in terms of like KO efficiency. 366 from Cody is not great. That's a lower damage number, and he really wasn't finding KOs with that.
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, again, from Cody Travis, you want to see big damage numbers because he has historically struggled to get those KOs. He doesn't consistently pick up that D-Light dash jump recovery. Most of his opponents are generally ready and expecting that, so he has to struggle and find like an axe air, an axe downlight, an end-light. Oh my gosh, Sandstorm already adding up a lot of damage.
I think we're going to see high damage per engagement if the beginning of this match is any indicator for the rest of it, and we kind of saw that last game as well coming out from Sandstorm. It did drop down from 42 to 36, but Cody's dropped from 49 to 26, almost in half in terms of damage per engagement.
Yeah, that damage drop from Cody Travis, you could see it, you could feel it, even if you don't know too much. You knew that Cody Travis was getting bopped, and here we are in game number 3, and Sandstorm, I love that spot dodge in the air. It's kind of like a bait. It's like, what are you gonna do? I have the perfect position to maybe go for a gravity cancel if you react the wrong way.
Neutral light comes out. It's going to send Cody over to the right side. Sandstorm has that soft platform there, kind of helping him out that he can stay on top of, maintain those sort of ground cooldowns. Gets the KO off the top, but he really didn't have to do too much in that edge guard situation. He didn't have to be over there on the wall, putting himself in a dangerous situation while still maintaining a threat to what Cody Travis was doing. Eventually, they did go back up to the platform. Sandstorm starting this one yet again. He's not as clean on this stock as he was in the previous game, but the lead is still gigantic, and it's starting to grow.
Yeah, Cody Travis threw some dirt on that stock. He could potentially even it up. You see him go for that down sig. There's that recovery, a little bit of risk on it, but still, he wants this KO. The downlight's not going to be enough. Doesn't have that damage that he had in game number 1. Side air will finally even it up for Cody Travis, and he's got the blasters. It's been his main damage build. Don't throw him away.
He's actually in a pretty good spot here. Like, obviously, he's still behind, but if you're going to be behind, he's not that far behind. Oh, the double tap with the sidelights. That's going to turn Sandstorm yellow. He continues this one up. He pivoted that down air. That got him far enough away. Yo, he is still building this up.
Yeah, he's actually taking the damage lead. The recovery connects. Cody Travis might have a massive lead if he can just finish off this stock of Sandstorm. But Sandstorm, he's got a sight. And like you said, it's hard to give too much credit to the opponent because we've seen Sandstorm steal stocks.
I really hope Tazo was watching that D-Light recovery that came out from Cody Travis, because that's something we were talking about before, is on small Brawlhalla, if they start on an orange and end in red, that's how you know they're going to be dead. But if you're on a different map with a higher ceiling, like Mammoth Fortress, he started out orange, he ended in red, but on another map, they're sometimes not dead.
Sometimes not, unfortunately, but he's back to the Blasters for the final stocks of Sandstorm here in game number 3, and he can push this lead. He's got enough health that he can get some more built up, and I love, he goes for the downlight sidelight. I'm pretty sure that's optimum damage at white, but it falls off, which is why you start seeing him go for D-Light Sayer.
Yeah, that's definitely the play if you're a Blasters player, and that's something Cody's done extremely consistently today across many foes that he's run up against in this tournament. He has I don't understand, what are these leads that are just wildly swinging from one side to the other? Like, what is going on here? Are we inside of a clock right now?
Yeah, it seems to be a little bit of a pendulum, right? Just keeping pace, going back and forth. But with the way that it is repeating, it's gonna end up as a Cody Travis W if Sandstorm doesn't change something up quick. Cody Travis up 2-1 over Sandstorm. He's one game away from a guaranteed top 2 finish.
Looking at those damage numbers, much better damage numbers in terms of like a higher number coming from Cody. He's still a little bit inefficient. He's having to do so much damage on a character with a heavy weapon that does have true KO combo confirms. But we were talking about the Fate. We got the Fate coming out from Sandstorm. We saw the character swap happening now right in front of our very eyes. It's been Mordex a lot today, but he's been talking about this Fate, specifically the Orb. Pretty much he feels confident about every single move in this kit. I think he's going to use Downlight more than a lot of other Orb players because it catches so many different places on the map. We're also going to see him use the Dare, but that's a normal Orb thing.
Yeah, I think you could look at the stats of the last game and see that this was definitely the direction Sandstorm was going to lean. He definitely leaned a little bit more into the Scythe. I think it was somewhere around like 206 damage put out on the Scythe versus the 100-something on the Gauntlet. So it definitely makes sense. He's going to stick with the Scythe for his next character pick. But we're here in game number 4, and it's all amounting to about an even game so far. He doesn't have the lead that he had in game 2 and game 3, but another side air might be the stock. Goes for the ground pound. Cody Travis can't touch.
Now you see that Sandstorm wasn't really in the right spot to get the punish. Like, he didn't get the hit on that, but I think that's probably because he knew he was just there just in case that touch happened to come out, which of course it was really far away from happening. I think that's why he wasn't perfectly positioned to actually nail that one.
I also think he was respecting the Axe and Sig a lot.
Definitely.
You saw him play very high, which is again one of the reasons why he was outside of position. But a D-Light dash jump recovery, Cody Travis evens it up immediately.
Seeing him with the blasters here in his hand. There is a weapon spawn. He actually ran all the way to the far right side of the stage. Gave Sandstorm so much more room. That meant he got to go into the orb, that weapon spawn, very quickly. Sidelight side air.
Yeah, still sticking with the orb. Getting that damage built up. You see him going for that neutral air. Okay, down air comes out from Cody Travis. They're staying relatively even. All the trades happening. Oh, but a recovery from Cody Travis could be devastating.
Oh, neutral sig, not enough to KO off the top. He's still hunting for it. They're very even right now.
Nice recovery. Okay, that's going to be the stock. You see Cody Travis, he's going to juggle, likely wants to stick. Oh no, he's going to stick with the Axe this time. I was for sure thinking he was going to stick with the blasters. That's been his main claim to fame here.
See him hunting for those dares. Hits the side air, has Sandstorm in the yellow. He's wanting to build this lead up here. Sandstorm feels pretty good about Fate's knockout potential with the signature kit. Solid strength stat coming out here. Oh, but he's whiffing so many attacks. He can't find the actual KO move that he needs. Cody's still alive and building up that damage.
That high defense from Barasa, keeping him alive, letting him get more and more. This is the most extra credit you could imagine against a player like Sandstorm. Again, top PR in the region, multi-world time champion. And Cody Travis is one stock away from knocking him into the loser's bracket.
This set came by so fast.
Yeah.
I didn't even happen to notice that. You laid that out for me, and you dropped some knowledge into my brain that I don't think I was ready to receive. A 3-1 from Cody Travis would be massive here.
We need that big Sandstorm play. We need that big KO if we want to see that Game 5. We've had so many Game 5s here at the North American portion of the World Championship. Could this be another one? But we need that Sandstorm GIMP.
Think of all the players that we've seen in the bracket today that we would be like, nah, that's a complete stomp. That's a 3-0 coming out. And this one is the one that is possibly going to be a 3-1, but Sandstorm fighting his way back into this one. He didn't get a good punish on that axe recovery like he did previously.
Oh, he doesn't punish the recovery in the side air, and Cody Travis is going to take it 3-1 over Sandstorm. Cody Travis with a guaranteed top 2 finish.
Now the set count between these two players was heavily favoring Sandstorm, and you literally talked about this. He didn't have the Sparky Blessing. Guess what? Cody's a really good player and didn't need it. Who would have thunk at the end of the day? He's going to turn this set count from 5-1 to 5-2. That was 2 recoveries that Sandstorm was unable to punish. That was a great turnaround Sair from Cody on that one. You saw the signature count come out from Cody. He wasn't super successful with the signatures against Sandstorm, but a lot of other stuff was really good. Even though Sandstorm did have the higher average damage per engagement, it was still really close. And Cody